Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. Prince Albert police have given an update on the situation Tuesday on Donaldson Street. Police responded for an injured person just before 6 a.m. Officers found two victims had been stabbed, a 20-year-old male and a 19-year-old male who were both taken to hospital. The 20-year-old had life-threatening injuries and is still in hospital. The 19-year-old has since been discharged and is recovering. Officers arrested 3 people for aggravated assault from a residence on Donaldson Street. A search warrant was executed at the residence. The 3 people arrested at the scene have since been released with no charges. The Major Crimes Unit continues to investigate. Police were called to Saskatoon's Court of King's Bench during a second-degree murder trial amid safety concerns involving a Crown witness. 28-year-old Andrew Rosenfeld is accused of killing his girlfriend, 20-year-old Nakira Brown, found shot dead on November 15, 2022, inside their apartment they shared on Avenue P South. Court heard the two had been dating for about a year and were both members of the Terror Squad street gang. Officers showed up as former gang member Catherine Iron took the stand for a second day. The Crown says Iron's safety has become an issue, telling court somehow information has gotten out that she had testified about Terror Squad secrets. The judge reminded the gallery there are potential safety concerns and urged people not to take advantage of what's being said in court. The Saskatchewan legislature is back in session, the government outlining plans to introduce legislation around addictions, safety, trade, and tailgating. Plans include the introduction of the Compassionate Care Act, which would bring in involuntary treatment for people with addictions who pose a danger to themselves or others. Plans to introduce a law including cyberstalking and coercion as forms of interpersonal violence, as well as adjusting the Change of Name Act so that serious offenders cannot alter their name. With ongoing trade disputes with the U.S. and China, the government also wants to reduce trade barriers with other provinces.
This would be an additional access point for a very, I would say, small number of individuals, if any at all. It would be for those individuals that very much are likely facing arrest, as they would be in a situation where they are in danger of harming themselves or harming someone in the public around them.
Also up for discussion is the idea to legalize tailgating at Mosaic Stadium. Premier Moe says the province is working to address healthcare pressures after hundreds of workers have raised concerns about overcrowding at Royal University Hospital's emergency department. The Saskatchewan Union of Nurses shared a letter signed by 450 employees on social media. It warns severe overcrowding at RUH is putting staff and patient safety at risk. Moe says the province is taking action, pointing to the urgent care center under construction in Saskatoon, 109 acute care beds at City Hospital, and continued efforts to recruit and retain healthcare workers. Sun says the province needs to act on the solutions outlined in the letter and make system-wide changes so that resources aren't tied up in emergency rooms.
And I thank them for using their voice and raising these important issues. And what I would say is this very much parallels largely with what we've heard from Saskatchewan people over the course of the past year.
It's an issue that is a result of failures across the system. You know, when we don't see the appropriate amount of long-term care facilities available and staff to work it, we see them in acute care beds where they don't belong, waiting for a placement.
The union says it hopes the conversation will lead to real change. The nuclear energy industry is in Saskatoon, wrapping up its first ever convention in Western Canada. As Keenan Sorokan explains, leaders see Saskatchewan as a key cog of nuclear energy moving forward.
Recent history hasn't been easy for Saskatchewan's nuclear industry. Following the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear disaster in 2011, demand for uranium plummeted, and Cameco CEO Tim Gitzel was forced to lay off thousands of workers. Today, Saskatchewan's outlook is dramatically different.
Today, we're living in a moment of what I would call unprecedented momentum for nuclear power, the likes of which I have not seen in over 40 years in this business.
With global economies looking towards net zero and sustainable energy, as well as the massive demand for electricity in the race to artificial intelligence, nuclear energy is now part of the conversation.
Nuclear energy stepping forward, not quietly, but confidently as a cornerstone solution for the world.
The province established 4 research chairs at different Saskatchewan post-secondaries to help support the growth of nuclear energy. With plans for small modular reactors, Premier Scott Moe hopes nuclear energy will eventually be powering Saskatchewan.
So it's an exciting time, an exciting time for the world as we, I think, truly have direction on how we're going to work together to provide global energy security. An exciting time for North America, despite the very difficult discussions that are happening.
Despite being a landlocked province with a relatively small population, leaders here are taking notice of Saskatchewan welcoming and powering nuclear energy.
People are seeing Saskatchewan as a leader. That's going to play a very important role, not only in the province, but also beyond.
Keenan Sorakan, CTV News, Saskatoon.
All right, Jeff, middle of the week, what kind of weather do we have going towards the weekend?
Things are looking pretty good. And by the way, what do you think that debate over tailgating at Mosaic is going to be like? All those in favor? Aye. Okay, moving on.
Yeah.
Exactly. Heated debate over that. Anyhow, we've got ourselves a pretty nice situation shaping up, John. Fairly quiet conditions, a lot of warm, moist air hitting British Columbia, but the moisture is going to stay in British Columbia for the most part, and then the warm air will still migrate across the Rocky Mountains into Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba, particularly Alberta and Saskatchewan. So right now, things are looking fairly pleasant as we head towards the end of the work week and the weekend, and we'll talk more about that later on.
First Nations University of Canada held an event to celebrate its updated Newaskan traditional campus. The land-based education campus is located north of the South Saskatchewan River near St. Louis. The renewal, including water infrastructure, was funded through the federal and provincial governments for $2.4 million. The First Nations University contributed $1 million. The campus has been active since 2021 and will continue to serve as a permanent land-based learning environment for university members, students, and elders.
Of course, there's teaching involved, there's storytelling, but there's also that holistic support that occurs here.
This is the newest of the First Nations University of Canada's 4 campuses. A program in Saskatoon is offering hope and healing to cardiac patients with a uniquely Saskatoon approach for more than 40 years. The Coronary Artery Rehabilitation Group, or CARG, is celebrating a 4-decade milestone this month. It's run by volunteers and was started as an extension to cardiac rehab programs for those who have gone through heart surgery or stroke. They're well known across the country and have had inquiries asking for advice on starting up a similar program in other cities because of its success. It connects cardiac patients while getting them the services they need to live healthy lives. All CARG volunteers are also heart patients.
The patients see that there is life going on after a heart attack, because the day that they're in a hospital recovering from either a stent or open heart surgery is one of the toughest days of their life, because there they are and they were going along just fine until this happened.
The CARG program is a membership-based group that has helped over 5,000 people since it started in 1985. Residents may have noticed some smoke in the air south of the city, which was part of a fire training exercise. Prescribed fire activities were planned for Chief Whitecap Park, Cranberry Flats, and Beaver Creek conservation areas, as well as Brightwater Science and Environmental Center and NCC Asquith Conservation Area. The burns are part of a 5-day live fire training event hosted by the Meewasin Valley Authority and Canadian Prairie's Prescribed Fire Training Exchange. It brings more than 60 participants from across North America to focus on building capacity, strengthening interagency partnerships, and advancing ecological restoration. After the break, a variety night filled with comedy, music, and improv. Jasmine Pelche gets the details on the 2nd annual Variety Night for Mental Health.
I just heard.
The top 8 high school boys soccer teams will be in Prince Albert this weekend for the 2025 5A Boys Provincial Soccer Championship. Jasmine Pelche catches up with some players from the host St. Mary Marauders.
Did you qualify for provincials last year?
We did, yeah. Okay. We have since grade 9.
Yeah, we got second last year.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do differently this year to try and get first?
Well, we didn't lose a lot of people. People we have lost to in the past have lost a lot of people. So I think we kept a better team than they have. So we have a good chance, I think.
Is there anything you're really confident about going into provincials?
The passing is definitely a strong point on the team. We like to build up from the back and, yeah, use passing as much as we can.
Would you say the same thing, or is there anything else?
Yeah, I agree with him, and I think we have a good team spirit. I think we all know each other pretty well, and we work well together as well.
Are there anything that's gonna be a challenge for you guys that you're going to work on?
I don't think so, honestly. We have a good all-around team. Yeah, we're pretty good in all categories.
We have a lot of young players, but most of them are pretty capable. A lot of potential, a lot of good quality there as well.
I think if there's one thing we had to work on, it'd be confidence, maybe, just in the younger guys.
Yeah, that's good.
You guys are in grade 12 and you have a lot of younger players. Did you kind of find that you were taking a bit of a mentorship role on the team?
Yeah, a role leader, mentor.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because we've played club a long time, and St. Mary's it's a lot different than club, because in grade 9 especially, you play against grade 12s. They're a lot bigger than you, so it's nice to get a bit of feedback from us, I think.
How does it feel now that it's your last year?
It feels almost like we have to win, it's our last chance, and it's in PA, so it feels kind of perfect, you know.
Yeah.
Not too much pressure. No.
We've got a good team. I'm pretty confident in this team. We can definitely go for it. We can definitely win.
Mm-hmm. You'd say then that you're optimistic heading into it?
Yeah, optimistic. I'm excited to see what we can do, because we haven't had a lot of games this year, but the games we have had, we've won pretty dominantly, so it'll be nice to see against the top tier teams.
Do you think it'll make a difference playing here at home and having a local fan base to cheer you on?
Definitely. I think, like I said, we have a good team spirit, and a lot of that comes from our support from our school and family, and I think the fans will help a lot for us winning.
Yeah, it'll be nice to look in the stands and see my family. It'll give me a little bit of a second win there. Yeah, if I'm feeling tired, just look at my family. They'll always be cheering, so it'll be nice.
Is there anything that it's important to get across that we might not have spoken about?
Just we'll be going for gold.
Yeah, we're the team to beat if they want to win profs.
Yeah.
All right, they're the team to beat.
Still ahead, Jeff, to break down the Wednesday weather, and later concern over healthcare workers burning out. All right, Jeff, it seems like all of the storms and the kerfuffle have made their way over to Ontario, and not a bad day here on the prairies.
Not a bad day in the prairies. It looks like it's going to stay that way, John. It looks like there is a great deal of active weather in the Great Lakes region, and it's going to be sticking around for a while. Places like Ottawa and Montreal are sort of on the edge of this system, and they're going to be doing all right as we make our way towards the next couple of days. But a large area of active weather, and then a second system is going to be coming in for the weekend and really hitting the South Avalon. So it's much needed rain across Atlantic Canada. So, it's hard to take umbrage with it. Speaking of rain, we have a big low in the Gulf of Alaska that is helping to create the first wave of some storms in British Columbia. But a second, much more potent wave is coming in, part of an atmospheric river. And as it moves along, we're going to see a lot more in the way of rain there. But the moisture gets scrubbed out by the Rocky Mountains, and that warm air comes into Saskatchewan and Alberta. And we are going to see a significant bump up in temperatures as we head into the weekend. So let's take a looky-loo at our feature cast. As you can see, some of those pressure lines getting a little closer together, but not big time. But it's certainly a windier situation in BC and parts of Alberta as we make our way into the next 24 hours. Here we go with our overnight temperatures and sky conditions for the Prince Albert region. Generally speaking, we're looking at clear skies, so 1 degree the overnight temperature in Spiritwood, the same for the Battlefords, -2 for Candle Lake, -1 -1 for Birch Hills and Rostern. Clearing skies in Birch Hills, I might add. -1 in Nipawin overnight, and -3 in Nipawin, -1 in Melfort and area. Then tomorrow, look at these temperatures, double-digit temperatures. These are significantly warmer than we would typically have this time of in the latter part of October. And as you can see, we've got 10 degrees tomorrow for Spiritwood, Battleford's 12 degrees, 11 in Candle Lake, 12 for Birch Hills and Rostern, Nipawin 11, 12 degrees in Melfort, although all the other communities on this part of our map dealing with mainly cloudy skies, mainly sunny in Melfort, but we don't see a big jump in temperatures there, but still some pretty nice temperatures in and around the Gateway City. So for the Gateway City, -2 degrees with clear skies overnight. The wind's starting to shift around, getting into a southerly flow. That tends to be a warmer flow of air. And then as we make our way into tomorrow, that warm air certainly shows up. Mainly cloudy skies, but 12 degrees. That is about 6 degrees above seasonal. Well, let's say 5 degrees above seasonal. Winds out of the southeast at 20. And here is the 7-day forecast. As you can see, 13 on Friday, 16 on Saturday, 11 on Sunday. And even though Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday are single-digit temperatures, those temperatures of 7 or 8 degrees are above seasonal. So all in all, a pretty mild situation shaping up, especially as we head in towards the weekend.
Double-digit light, you could call it, right?
Sure, let's go with that.
Just about there. All right, well, the Toronto Blue Jays have made it to the World Series for the first time since 1993. Back in those days, the team actually played a couple of games in Regina, and your local news cameras were there. Matt Young with some rare footage in this week's Classic Sports Moments.
Cito, generally, how do you feel about your ball club so far in '93?
Well, I think we have a good ball club. We just cannot afford to make a lot of mistakes. In a couple of ball games over in Chicago, we did, and we can't win when we do that. But overall, our guys are out there battling every day. They're playing hard.
That's former Blue Jays manager Cito Gaston talking about his squad when they played an exhibition game in Regina at the old Taylor Field in 1993. This came the year after the team won their first World Series. The game saw them taking on a team of players from the National Baseball Institute. After a slow start, the Blue Jays won 16-6. The roster featured players like John Olroot and Alfredo Griffin, who put on a nice home run show for fans. Here's pitcher Jack Morris speaking to CKCK TV at the time. The game took place 4 years after the Jays played an exhibition game at Taylor Field in 1989. That one was delayed by rain, but when they got started, fans got to see Canada's team in action. The Jays have not played in Regina since, but perhaps if a World Series win is in the cards, I'm sure fans in Saskatchewan would welcome another visit from the boys in blue.
And if you want to check out more classic sports moments from the days of Wilco and Wood Finish televisions, you can check them out on our website.
Do you have a community event you would like to promote? Or maybe you'd like to draw attention to your organization. Let your local CTV station help you spread the word. Contact us at 306-922-6020 or email panews@ctv.ca. You can appear on CTV Prince Albert's News at 5 and get your message to our viewers.
For 15 years, the First Steps Wellness Center has been assisting with spinal cord injuries and other disorders. Now the organization has a new tool to help some of their youngest clients take their first steps. The Trexo walking device is designed for children with mobility issues. Unlike conventional therapy, the device allows clients to take steps, improving strength, motor skills, and posture. Those at the center are excited to be offering the device.
It's remarkable how sometimes there's scientific breakthroughs that come through with new types of devices, but then ultimately it needs places to put it into practice. So that's what we are. We follow various places around Canada and the world that are putting out with awesome new practices, awesome new devices, and we're the hands and the feet. Once they think of how to do it, then we put it into practice.
The Canadian-made machine is the first in Saskatchewan, made possible by an anonymous donor. A new study is shedding light on a major source of burnout for Canadian doctors, increasing amounts of paperwork. The study, shared by RBC, consulted about 500 physicians over the summer. 72% said non-clinical administrative work was a significant driver of workplace exhaustion. 77% said their administrative workload was reducing the time they can spend with patients. The research follows warnings from the Canadian Medical Association that 2/3 of doctors are spending more time on those tasks than they did 5 years ago, and that's driving demand for innovation and streamlining of paperwork. A new report suggests Canada is burning through its younger nurses at an alarming rate, and Saskatchewan is no exception. Think tank MEI has found for every 100 nurses under the age of 35 who registered to practice, 40 others did not renew their registration in 2023. In Saskatchewan, 38 nurses under 35 left the profession for every 100 who entered it in 2023. The report also says vacancies for nursing jobs have also tripled nationwide over a 5-year span and were nearly in 42,000 in 2023. The authors said the findings show the importance of offering staffing flexibility to keep younger nurses in the profession.
Brought to you by Saskatchewan Union of Nurses. Thank you to Saskatchewan's 11,000 registered nurses.
All right, Jeff, time to talk a little bit about wool, especially this time of year, probably a good time. But the Canadian Wool Council premiered their newest documentary, The Wool Keepers of Saskatchewan. The premiere took place at Government House last night. The documentary was produced by the Campaign for Wool Canada and Saskatchewan Sheep Development Board. The film is part of the Fabric of Canada, a mini doc series highlighting the role wool plays in Canada. And with wool prices struggling, there's a growing interest in finding new ways to make wool more valuable, not just for farmers, but for those turning it into something more. So there you go, Jeff. I don't know if you know much about wool. Are you a wool socks guy or a wool attire guy?
It makes me itch a little bit, but I know that you can do things to make it less itchy, so I'm fine with wool. And it is a super insulator, and goodness knows, and for this part of the world, that's a really important thing to have around the winter months.
Just do not put it in the washing machine on hot. I've learned my lesson with wool sweaters that way.
Yeah. Well,
National News is next.